This video is about rinsing your Venus flytrap soil, why and how. Let's get right into it. Come along. We rinse the soil, or what I like to call flush the soil, in order to remove too many minerals that may have been built up in the soil. And as you know, that kills Venus flytraps. You really don't like that stuff. Now maybe you have too many minerals in your soil because you spilled an electrolyte supplement into your soil. If that's the case, I'm not judging you. But what is often the case, though, is that maybe you bought your plants from a nursery or somewhere, or maybe in the what's called death cubes. Who knows? The thing is, wherever those plants were, the employees there are trying to keep the plants alive, and so they're more than likely thinking of the plants as normal plants, thinking of your Venus flytraps as normal plants. And with normal plants, what do? You're probably giving them just straight up tap water. And so it's often the case with some of these nurseries that they'll be watering your Venus flytraps with tap water. Big no-no. But I mean, you can't really blame them. It's not really their fault. And after all, a slow death is better than a quick one when it comes to rescuing these Venus flytraps, that is. Now just a quick breakdown so that we're picturing this correctly. Let's say the plants arrive at the nursery. Bam, they get watered once with tap water. As it dries up, whatever amount of minerals in that water stays. They don't go anywhere. And then so later, bam, they water it with more tap water. Now the minerals from that second batch of water, or that second watering of water, will stay and add up with the previous batch. And then, another day or a few days, bam, they'll water the plants again. Now you have this third batch of minerals in the water that are drying up and staying in the soil, building up with the previous two batches, and so on and so on. And that's where the problem comes in. So whenever I find myself facing this situation, this issue of mineral toxicity in my plant soil, I flush my soil. This is how we do it. It helps to have your soil lower than your pot edges. I used to stack my soil way above the pot edges, but then it makes it very difficult to do a flush. If by chance, knock on wood, bog forbid, you have to do a flush. Okay, now that your soil level is lower than the edges of your pot, you just water your pot from the top this time, instead of from the bottom like you might be watering, who knows. And you let the water slowly drain out through the bottom of the pot and take with it all the built up minerals. Typically, I'll hold my pot over a clear glass jar or a white basin because I like to see the color of the water that comes out. Call me weird. But that's pretty much it. You have this soil top below the edges of the pot so that you can pour water over top and not have the water pour off over the edges of the pot. Now I will say it is a little trickier with soils for your Venus flytraps that are like heavy in peat. The reason being is the peat tends to cling to itself, and in doing that will tend to create this gap between the body of soil and the edge of the pot. And so whenever you water it, the water will just run down the cracks between the edge of the pot and the soil, and that's not conducive to a good flush. If that is the case for you, then I would say slowly drizzle water on the top of your soil in preventing it from running down the cracks between the soil and the edges of the pot. I know it sounds painstaking, but it's sort of what needs to be done if you have a problem with the minerals. Either that or transplant your plant into a new body of soil completely. Now I keep a sandy mix for my Venus flytraps to grow in. A sandier mix is very easy to flush because it stays uniformly against the walls of the pot on every side. And so I can just fill the top with water and it'll uniformly drain down through the soil evenly. Oh, another tip is I like to roughly estimate the same amount of volume when I'm flushing the soil. So let's say if I'm looking at a pot and it's currently holding about 2 cups worth of soil, then I won't stop flushing, like completely stop flushing, or I won't be satisfied, we'll put it that way, until at the end I have run at least 2 cups worth of water through that soil and it is out the bottom and in whatever jar or reservoir you're using or I'm using. I like to at least use the same volume of water for volume of soil I'm cleansing. But sure, you can go even further than that. I really value thoroughness, so be as thorough as you want. Your plants will love you for it. This has been another video. Ask me questions, give me ideas, and I'll make a video about it. This video is from a question I received. You could probably see it in the comments somewhere in my videos on your own. But yeah, talk to me.
Oh wow, why are you so cute? My name's Rutherford.